I think that there is generally going to be a resurgence of interest that we've started to see develop again in 2023 around artificial general intelligence (AGI), and I'll tell you why I'm predicting that because we have seen in the past year these models make such a leap that they, depending on how you want to measure what a model is capable of in terms of different measures of intelligence, people talk about they're as intelligent, they're super intelligent, they're almost as intelligent, and I think it depends on how what kind of metric you're using for that. But I think as a generalization, kind of looking at all those, we're seeing these models that are incredibly productive. And if you're measuring intelligence on in terms of productivity, and you're comparing that against what a human would be able to reasonably do in the same time period, we're seeing output from these models that we've been talking about that's just amazing, which is why you and I have integrated them so heavily into our lives. So if you take that for a moment as a measure of intelligence, and then you say, well, we still there are about roughly a dozen different ideas on what consciousness and would be in the space, and they don't agree with each other. We've made it nowhere, but there's a lot more fear now, and fear tends to drive priority, as I've learned in the industry that I'm in. And so the general fear out there is when you have such capable models, if there is a worry that we don't understand, we see in nature all around us that consciousness arises in animals all over the place. It's probably mathematical in nature, but we don't have anything. So I think that there will be a resurgence of research. I think that research will not come in the AI space; it will come in the neuroscience space, trying to understand, because the big fear is what happens when we stumble upon it, and you have already have such productive models. And so I've run into that fear over and over and over during 2023. So I'm predicting, not terribly practically, that there'll be a focus, at least in some quarters, about how do we ensure that we don't hit a moment that comes with big surprises in the large. And so I like that we have very, very different predictions on this one. But that's my spicy prediction.